Second half of the day was interesting. Already knew that whatever my goal was, the maximum possible interference was going to take place. All these things meant to just hose my mood. Too late. Too late. Seafloor, the bottomless pit, achieved. That shit requires instant transmission to reach. Instant transmission requires very, very precise control. Inward. So I went about my day. I listened to my ska music. I took what came, and at the end of the night, it was not bad. Part of the reason it was not bad was an extra tip that I received on a remake run. I would say that typically, well, for one thing, these days, the place I work now, remake runs are not a thing. People get it done right the first time, it's out the door right. Everybody's happy. Reputation plus. Ka-ting. And I keep all of the instincts that I gained doing it at the Big D about making sure that everything is made right, that the customer is happy. I want these people to be smiling, laughing with me, not at me, as I walk back to my car. Because these people will then return. And they will tell other people who will then come, and when they receive that kind of service, if they receive that kind of service, will return. This is how you grow business. This is how you succeed. Word of mouth is still powerful. There are people that don't understand it, try and explain it to them, and it doesn't occur. It doesn't retain, they don't do it. So, new kid working the oven, makes pizza, doesn't well done it enough or whatever, it goes out. Customer calls back. There was something else they wanted to ask about, something they didn't like. Through interpretation of what we thought they meant, because it wasn't exactly a product that we offered, it just was like some seasoning and I don't know, that there was going to be some kind of seasoned sauce or something with it that, hey bro, that is not a potty. She's hyper frisky. What it came to was some of the dry shake herbs mixed in with the seasoned oil thing that goes on the Greek for the pasta and the base of the pizza. And some Parmesan peppers. And I put them in a clamshell because it's just always easier to have it in a quick little boop. There you go. Everyone was like summoned over. Does this look well done enough? Like everybody made sure. Yeah, it's been put through pretty well. It was dark, crispy. And so I took it, and folks were actually standing outside of the hotel. Both of them were having a cigarette, and I was just like, hey, you guys wouldn't happen to be 132? And they said, as a matter of fact, we are. And we conversed about the pizza issues and everything else, and I was like, we weren't quite sure what you meant, so here's a dry one, here's one mixed in with some oil that comes with the thing on the Greek, so I hope this is what you were after. And Parmesan peppers, there you go, badoo. And at that point she says, hey, let me get the room key, I gotta get this guy a tip. And then I said, well, let's make sure your pizza's right. Is this well done enough for you? At that point, on a customer service angle, I am making sure that they are happy. And at the same time, I'm gaining their acceptance of this product. So there will be no further remake. Nah, man, they said it was fine. Because there are people that will play games. These people were not playing games. They were in from out of town for a sporting event that they were participating in. And the pizza was not what they were after. And we remade it and got it right out to them. And back in the day, if there were remakes, better than half the time, I'd pick up a tip of some sort for making sure that the customer was happy before I left. And those people would then call back. And not trying to get free shit, just repeat business. That's how you succeed. That's how you grow business. Word of mouth is very powerful. You do it right. This is how I do. This is how I do every single run. My mood was seafloor of the bottomless pit, but I did not let these customers know. None of them knew. None of them had an inkling. Unless they read my eyes, because I have no idea what they looked like. But I still did the thing that I do. I did maximally for what was available. And the circumstances could have been less crowded. But what are you going to do? What I know is that the opportunity will be present for me to make probably enough or more. Whether the circumstances allow those opportunities to be seized is another thing. There are so many patterns repeating right now. Confluence. But it seems to me that what they are doing, these confluent repetitions, is that they are struggling to hold me in as I limit break from the seafloor of the bottomless pit. I enjoyed today's thunderstorm. It was a nice storm. A lot of very intricate sculpting of cloud took place. Roping ribbons. I saw some extremely regularly spaced protrusions hanging down. Each of these, as they rolled in, had an almost flat butt face of the front of the storm visible from underneath. They didn't really have any kind of shelf. It was just solid. But underneath the bottom, the full activity of a storm. Just no flared base. Some of these look like they could have been low precipitation supercells. And the one ended up being pretty HP, actually. The one that I videoed and called Thunder Buddy. That one dumped a lot of water. But the one to the south of it, that is, I've never really had time or opportunity when it was visible. It was mostly while driving. where the one to the south of that had connected and then wrapped around, and the wraparound part was what had all the weird repetitious squiggles, and all of the little evenly spaced protrusions ended up flaring slightly, growing into like an inflow band, and that had like curls and loops that were just repeated. Yeah, very interesting skies, very nice to look at. And the additional boon of a hard rainstorm like that is customers, deliveries, money, making more than freaking gas money and cigarettes. So, yeah, second half of the day was interesting. Tomorrow's going to be interesting too, I think. Don't know what the weather's actually going to do. Don't know what the air quality's actually going to do. Don't know what the business is going to actually do. Although it would be really great to have a really busy one. Really busy. That's all I have. I'm going to bed soon. It's been more like torpor than sleep lately. I would like to be able to just sleep.